Hi everybody. So I have a lot of windows open. There's a reason for that. I'm going to show you today kind of how to create from your planner the draft of your summary response paper. So the first thing I actually have open is this. I'm taking it back to Unit 1, Unit 1 learning materials. I just downloaded the APA title template because I'm actually going to start in there. So I'm going to download this title template, which I might have already opened on my computer. There we go. And I'm going to start with this. I'm going to give it, I could call it summary response. That's kind of boring. I'm doing mine on COVID vaccine mandates for healthcare workers, so maybe I'll call it something like that. I'm going to spell it right. Put my name here. All right. And now my title is in good shape. And I'm just going to save it. I'll save my downloads somewhere where I can find it. And I'm going to call this my summary response sample because I'll upload this for you guys. Okay. So there it is, my summary response sample. This page is just by itself, so I'm going to go down to the second page. And actually, because I'm following good APA, I'm going to put my title on the top of the second page. And now I am going to go back to just typing over here. So looking at my planner, I also have my planner pulled up. This is my planner. This is the same planner that's accessible if you want to look at it in the learning materials for Unit 3, and it's linked in the announcements. And I'm going to start with my, I'm going to start with my first sentence, my hook. And then I'm going to include my background / context. And then I'm going to include this. And I don't really know why it's showing up like this in this format, so I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. And I'm going to make sure it's in Times New Roman 12. And then I've got an indent. And that it is double spaced. Okay. Look through, it's recommending that I make it capital. Fine, fine. Okay. I'm going to read these 3 sentences and make sure there doesn't need to be more transition between them. Yeah, this looks like it's okay. So you might need to add in transitions to make sure that there's a good flow between these sentences. But that's my introduction. I got it right there. Then my summary, I'm going to look at what my teacher said I need to do to make it perfect. Since I am the teacher, I'm going to go ahead and approve this as perfect. But you want to look at the feedback that I gave you on your thesis outline planner and make sure it looks good. Make sure it's an actual article of this summary, a summary of the article that you're using as your primary source. I am going to, again, make sure it's double spaced like it should be. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay. Now I'm just going to do one of these. I'm going to convert one of these into a paragraph so that you guys get an idea of how to do that. So I'm going to take my first topic sentence and I'm going to put it right here. If you're in O11, then we've been practicing using the planner to create a paragraph. So whatever paragraph you use that planner, you can just put that paragraph after you've used the planner to create the paragraph. You can put that paragraph wherever it belongs right into your paper. If you're in just 101, you're going to go through and look at your examples and figure out how to include them in the paragraph and figure out where you need to elaborate on them to create your paragraphs. So I'm going to copy and paste my sentences in. If you didn't write complete sentences and you just wrote phrases, you're going to need to turn these into complete sentences. If you included a quote, but you didn't have any kind of like setup like this, you just cited the quote, you're going to need to figure out how to work it in the structure of your paper. If you included the quote, but you didn't have the in-text citation, you're going to need to include that. All right. And then I'm going to go through here and I'm going to say this needs to be in 12-point font. When I'm cutting and pasting, I'm constantly looking to make sure that I'm actually like everything's staying consistent. Double spacing it. Times Roman, 12-point font, paragraph. And you can see that I didn't plan to include my second source in this paragraph, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to read over the paragraph and see if this makes sense or if I need to add in another minor detail. I'm going to keep going. My second main point. That means I'm on to a new body paragraph. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what? I probably shouldn't end with a quote. I said it was an inconclusive quote. Maybe I should explain why. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm just adding in these concluding thoughts, adding in an explanation of the quote. Okay. And I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to pull these details. This is not going to be a long enough sentence. I mean, a long enough paragraph. So I'm probably going to want to go through and add in some minor details. You can see right here that this is my second source. So I've gotten that in there and I'm summarizing it. And that's how I'm incorporating my second source. So In this article, I did go in through and I cut, or in this paragraph, I went through and I cut and I pasted, but I might want to talk a little bit more about this. Like I might want to summarize some of the things I've been hearing from nursing students at Del Tech. And I'm going to add in those details. So I'll go through and turn this into an entire paper so you can see it, but that's basically the process of converting your planner into a paper.